Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi described the ongoing nuclear talks with the United States as complicated, but expressed hope for progress. After the fifth round of talks in Rome, Araghchi called the discussions the most professional so far. He emphasized that while challenges remain, the negotiations are moving in a reasonable direction. Here's what the Iranian Foreign Minister has said.
یکی از حرفه‌ای‌ترین ادوار مذاکراتی بود که تا الان داشتیم و خب ما یک بار دیگه مواضع و اصول جمهوری اسلامی رو در خصوص مذاکرات بیان کردیم. مواضع ما کاملا روشن هست و ما بر اونها ایستادگی داریم. فکر می‌کنم الان یک درک بهتری و روشن‌تری از مواضع ما در نزد طرف آمریکایی.
While Iran was calling these talks complicated, on the other hand, a senior U.S. official also described the talks as constructive and noted that both sides agreed to meet again soon. Despite the progress, significant hurdles still exist, including Iran's uranium enrichment and demands for sanctions relief. The talks mediated by Oman aim to resolve a decades-long dispute over Iran's nuclear program. Araghchi reiterated Iran's stance on its right to enrich uranium. While the U.S. pushes for limits, both sides are now reviewing proposals and preparing for the next round of discussions. The location for the next round will be confirmed soon. Kyiv is on high alert after a combined drone and missile strike by Russian forces early Saturday. The attack triggered fires across multiple districts, injuring at least 2 people. Eyewitnesses captured the explosion as a loud blast rocked the sky, sending debris flying. Let's hear that video. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko confirmed that drones hit residential buildings, including in Solomiansky and Dniprovsky districts, causing major damage. The strike comes as Ukraine and Russia begin the largest prisoner swap of the war, exchanging 390 soldiers and civilians. The first phase of the swap was agreed upon in Istanbul last week, with more exchanges expected in the coming days. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has vowed to bring back all Ukrainian soldiers and civilians held in Russia. In a national address, he confirmed nearly the number of people had been released in the first phase of the largest prisoner swap since the war began. Zelensky promised further stages in the coming days. Here's what the Ukrainian president has said.
Обов'язково повернемо всіх. Кожен наш громадянин, кожен український військовий і цивільний, всі українські заручники, яких утримують в Росії. Ми всіх їх маємо визволити. Сьогодні вдома майже 400 людей, 390 – це військові та цивільні.
On the other hand, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Moscow is ready to present peace terms to Ukraine after the prisoner exchange is completed. Here's what the Russian Foreign Minister has said.
Также привержены тем договоренностям, которые были достигнуты недавно в Стамбуле между делегациями России и Украины. Мы завершаем нашу подготовительную работу по составлению списка для обмена военнопленными по принципу 1000 на 1000, и мы...
U.S. President Donald Trump threatened Apple and other smartphone manufacturers with a 25% tariff unless their devices are built in the United States. Trump initially said the tariff would apply only to Apple, an unusual move to single out a specific company in trade policy. However, he later expanded the threat to include all smartphone makers. While Apple designs its products in the United States, most iPhone assembly occurs in China, which remains embroiled in the trade war with the United States. Apple has announced plans to shift some production to other countries, including India, but Trump has said this would not satisfy his demands. In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote that He had long ago informed Tim Cook of Apple that he expects their iPhones that will be sold in the United States of America to be manufactured and built in the United States, not India or any place else. Apple's main rival, South Korea's Samsung, finds itself in a similar situation, with most of its production in Vietnam, China, and India. The constant pressure from the White House has taken a toll in Apple's stock price. Apple shares closed down 3% in New York on Friday. Other smartphone companies are likely to take a hit too. Meanwhile, let's listen into what Trump has to say about his tariffs on the smartphones.
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair. So anybody that makes that product, and that'll start on, I guess, at the end of June. It'll come out. I think we have that appropriately done by the end of June. So if they make that product. Now, again, when they build their plant here, there's no tariff. So they're going to be building plants here. But I had an understanding with Tim that he wouldn't be doing this. He said he's going to India to build plants. I said, that's okay to go to India, but you're not going to sell into here without tariffs.
US President Donald Trump has rekindled his trade war with the European Union. He has threatened over 50% tariffs. Trump first raised the issue of EU tariffs in an early morning post on his Truth social network. He doubled down later in the day, telling reporters in the Oval Office that there was nothing the 27-nation bloc could do to change his mind. While adding to this, Trump also denied that his tariffs would hurt American businesses. Let's in fact listen in.
I'm not looking for a deal. I mean, we've set the deal. It's at 50%. But again, there is no tariff if they build their plant here. Now, if somebody comes in and wants to build a plant here, I can talk to them about a little bit of a delay. But, while they're building their plant, which is something I think that would be appropriate, maybe, we'll determine that.
Trump imposed sweeping tariffs on most of the world on what he called Liberation Day on April 2nd, with a baseline 10% plus steeper duties, including a 20% levy on the EU markets, were thrown into turmoil but calmed after he paused the bigger tariffs for 90 days. Trump has since claimed some early successes in deals struck with Britain and with China, the world's second biggest economy, but talks with the EU have failed to make much progress, with Brussels recently threatening to hit US goods worth nearly 100 billion euros with tariffs if it does not lower the duties on European goods. Wall Street's main indexes were all down around 1% 2 hours into trading, with the tech-heavy Nasdaq at one stage losing 1.5% before rallying, while Apple shares sank 2.5%. The EU's trade chief said the bloc would work for a trade deal with Washington based on respect, not threats. US President Donald Trump signed a series of executive orders aimed at expanding the country's nuclear energy capabilities. The orders focus on speeding up reactor testing, reducing regulatory barriers, and allowing the construction of new reactors on federal land. Trump outlined a goal to increase the nation's nuclear power capacity from 100 gigawatts to 400 gigawatts by 2050. The measures also include a pilot program to bring new reactors online by 2026. Trump emphasized the importance of nuclear energy in achieving energy dominance and ensuring energy security. The orders will also streamline the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's process, requiring decisions on reactor licenses within 18 months. Trump's push for a stronger nuclear industry comes amid growing demand for electricity, particularly from tech companies and AI ventures. Let's listen in to what US President Donald Trump has said.
Well, thank you very much. We have a very big announcement today. It has to do with nuclear energy and other things. And this is all nuclear. It's a hot industry. It's a brilliant industry. You have to do it right. It's become very safe and environmental, yes, 100%.
Blasts were heard in